Hello loves, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be breaking down the solar eclipse that's happening on December 4th in Sagittarius. This is going to be a new moon as well. It is definitely going to be a lot. So let's just get it right into it. As always, we're going to start by looking at the planetary positions, and we're going to move to the aspects, and we're going to be talking about the spell guide, and we're going to look at the tarot and the oracle cards and what they have to say about this specific eclipse. Okay, so the sun, moon, and Mercury will be in Sagittarius, Venus will be in Capricorn, Mars will be in Scorpio, Jupiter and Saturn will be in Aquarius, Uranus will be in Taurus in retrograde, Neptune will be in Pisces, and Pluto will be in Capricorn. So there's definitely this beautiful Sagittarius stellium that's happening, and we do have a sun and moon conjunction happening, as well as a moon and Mercury conjunction happening as well, because the planets are in the same sign. So that just means that there are very much the ego, which is the sun, the moon, or emotional energy in our minds. Mercury will be very much all in the same page, and because Sagittarius is the sign of education, travel, luck, abundance, opportunity, there is a sense of direction. The fire signs rule the journey. They're about the direction that you're going in. In Sagittarius, because it is the last of the fire signs, astrologically speaking, in the astrological calendar, because it is the last, it looks at what you have learned. If you look at all of the fire signs, there is this sense of, when it comes to Aries energy, there's a sense of urgency when it comes to getting the journey going. There's a sense of urgency through there, and then with Leo season, there's a sense of comfortability of like, I like this like middle ground, I like where I'm at. And then Sagittarius is like, okay, but what did you learn combined? How can what you have learned so far get you to the next step? Oh, I forgot to kind of make this announcement beforehand. I'm sorry. Tonight is the last day to take advantage of the Cyber Monday sale that's happening, that literally ends today. You can get 35% off all of my services with the code CYBERBRUJA. It will be over here. So definitely make sure you take advantage of it, because it's the last day and I'm almost booked out for December. There's only like a couple of days that I have available left. So definitely take advantage of that, because you guys know my birthday's in January and I will be taking time off, which means that if you're trying to book a session with me, if you don't book it soon, you're gonna be waiting like 3 months. So I'm just letting you guys know. So definitely take advantage of the sale that's happening. And yeah, back to the reading. So because Sagittarius is the last of the fire sign, there is this energy of knowledge of, what did you learn? What is the philosophy? What have you attained so far? Jupiter is a very, very important planet, astrologically speaking, because Jupiter is seen as the god of all of the other planets, like the gods of the gods, the god of the gods. And so there is this energy of empowerment through the mind, through thought, and that brings you opportunity, that brings you luck, that which you are guided by knowledge brings you luck and abundance and opportunity. And so this conjunction helps to keep our energies very much centered in, okay, what did you learn from this? What have you learned from the past couple of months, past couple of weeks? What have you learned? What have the lessons been that have gotten you to this point? What did you learn? And so by answering those questions, it leads you into the next step of, okay, I know what I know. And with that, I think I know what I need to do. It puts you into that kind of state of mind where you can stay a little bit more on track with yourself. Because of the Sagittarius energy, there is this energy of working with the ancestors and working with knowledge, and that's something that came up in the oracle cards. We got ancient teachings in here. So if you're going through a specific situation, ask your ancestors for guidance. Look at a way where try to get guidance, as if like, okay, can you tell me how you handled this when you were alive? Like, talk to your ancestors, look at your ancient teachings, look at some of your ancestral practices, and see how traditionally it would have been handled. What is it that traditionally it would, like, for example, Let's say you need to work on forgiveness, or you need to work on your relationship with other people, or your sense of community, or your individuality versus a community and stuff like that. In ancient times, we were very much collective people. We still are, but we're more distant. There's an emphasis on individuality now versus the collective, versus all coming together. Like, we used to be in tribes. We used to be in connected in a different way. And so there are teachings about how to kind of navigate each other's energy in a way that is productive. So working with the ancestors, working with that knowledge, seeking the knowledge of how to navigate some of your circumstances that you might be going through that literally require you to look at it from a different perspective with that ancient teachings is the key. It's the key to get out of some of the problems that some of you guys have been having. Okay. We also have a sun in conjunction to Mercury because, again, they're in the same sign. Sun would also be in a square with Neptune, and this is definitely going to bring up a lot of different, it's going to unearth a lot of truths, and this is why, I mean, it's a great time to be educationally looking for different solutions, ancient solutions to your current problems, because when it comes to Sun square Neptune, again, planet of illusion, dreams, subconscious mind, there's a lot that's being revealed, and the ego will be exposed in the solar eclipse in Sagittarius. The ego will be exposed. You will be able to see the truth for what it is, and you'll be able to see how you yourself have been holding yourself back, or how others have been holding you back in different ways. And so it is really, really important to maintain perspective and see past the illusion, because you're going to be able to see it. It's like the veil is open and you're going to be able to see what's really going on. The moon will be also in a square with Neptune, and Mercury will also be in a square with Neptune, because, again, remember, all of those three planets, Sun, Moon, and Mercury, are all in Sagittarius. So they're all squaring, going off with Neptune, which is in Pisces. Okay. Again, sign and planet of illusion, dreams of subconscious. So there is this very much this emphasis on looking at what's real, looking at what's the actual reality, not falling for the trap, not falling for the lie, looking at, like, what is the lesson, what did I learn, what was the meaning of this person coming to my life, like, what it was. Just, it felt like right now you may be like processing stuff and it may feel like, oh my god, that was chaos, but look at what you learned, look at where it got you, look at, like, where are you now, like, how are you processing things? Look at that, because Sagittarius is all about the mind. Okay, the mind and the journey, the mind and where I'm going through, where am I seeking knowledge, where am I trying to understand and have that philosophy. Okay, so the key is to look past the illusion and find the truth in that. When it comes to Venus will be in a conjunction with Pluto. Okay, Venus, which is in Capricorn, will be in a conjunction with Pluto, because Pluto is also in Capricorn. So Venus and Pluto conjunction on a solar eclipse, it speaks for very deep transformations. It speaks for very much looking at the core issue of, okay, where have you not been doing the work? Especially because, again, Capricorn, you don't benefit from Capricorn energy if you don't do the work. It's just not how it works. We're not Sagittariuses. Capricorns are not Sagittariuses. Sagittariuses can get things handed to them because they're a very lucky sign. Okay, but Capricorn, it has to work hard to get what it gets. Okay, and so the question is, especially with Pluto in this conjunction with Venus, have you done the work? What have you done? How have you spent your time? How have you wasted your time? Okay, do you think you're going to benefit by doing and repeating the same cycles that you have been doing this past couple of weeks? What is it that you need to change? What is it about your behavior that you need to transform, that you need to transition out of, so that you can be in a better place, so that you can then work for yourself, build yourself up, so you can see the benefits of your actions. Okay, there's a lot of transformation. The solar eclipse is not for the faint of heart because of this. However, I will say this specific solar eclipse is a great time to do some sacral, I'm trying not to get demonetized on here, like get banned on YouTube, but this is a great time to do some sacral work, sacral magic. Okay, some yoni magic. Okay, when it comes to transformation and release, not necessarily for manifestation, but for transformation and release in the sense of releasing any pent-up traumas that you have in your womb, so that you may then use it later for manifestation. It's about setting yourself up for success, but it's a great time to remove and release anything very intense. This specific aspect is going to be very intense, and it's going to feel very intense, but you can work with it in a way where it's like it can work for your favor if you actually apply yourself. So take it easy. It's a good time to kind of like dive into your intense feelings and allow yourself to transform from it, and just be honest with yourself, because Capricorn likes to just be straight, tell us what it is so we can do something about the thing. So be honest with yourself and just work through what it is that you need to work through. But this conjunction is going to be very, very powerful, and it's definitely going to activate and tap into our sensuality and our sensual energy. So try to do some cleansings with that, and if you are going to partake in some sensual energy, okay, do so with the intention not of manifestation, but again of like clearing the way, so that your womb can be open for the next thing. Okay, clear the debris. Okay, clear the debris. Allow yourself to heal, transform, remove anything that's been pent up in there. Okay, so great time to do some sacral healing work, energy healing work. Mars will also be in a square with Jupiter. Okay, Mars, which is in Scorpio, in a square with Jupiter, which is in Aquarius. This is definitely a little bit of, try not to be too hard-headed, because these two are in fixed signs, and Jupiter and Mars are not necessarily like planets that like to be pinned down too much, but both of these signs, Scorpio and Aquarius, are both fixed signs, even though Scorpio rules transformation. There is this still energy of reacting very extreme, or being a little bit too over passionate, or being a little bit too like taking it from 0 to 100. When Mars in a square with Jupiter, a square is when the planets are fighting, y'all. So that's like them squaring up. Mars, a planet of passion and war, fighting Jupiter, the planet of expansion. Okay, it's like if you get mad and if you like lash out on the solar eclipse, it's going to be out of what you already know, and just kind of like you're just going to be laying facts. You can literally easily destroy someone with the truth, especially because Mars is in Scorpio. So be mindful, because Scorpio, you guys know, seeks the truth above all things. But there is this kind of energy again of like transforming. Okay, that's also why we're getting transition and change as one of our oracle cards, of transforming, releasing, kind of shifting through the energy. It is going to feel a little bit intense with some of these aspects. I'm letting you know right now, but there is a way for you to kind of like navigate through the extreme energies, and it's by facing them head on without trying to like get your ego in muddy in the way. And because you have that support with the personal planets, Sun, Moon, and Mercury, all in the same sign, all in this conjunction, and all like in alignment of the knowledge of what you need to do, you should be able to navigate it safely. And then we have a Mars trine Neptune and a Saturn square Uranus as well. This is just gonna make it where it's just like there is this element of working spiritually through things. Okay, working spiritually, because Mars is in Scorpio and Neptune is in Pisces. So there is this element of handle things spiritually. Make sure you are allowing your spirit, your emotional energy to go through very deep transformations. This trine is going to be very beautiful, but it can be, it requires, like Mars, again, planet like of action. You're going to have to act spiritually on certain things. You might have to react and have a solution or a way out of what you're going through, especially with when it comes to your healing, when it comes to your what you're going through. So let's say you need to release something. Let's say you're at work and you're just like, you want to quit, or let's say whatever it is, you're going to have a spiritual reaction to what it is that you're doing. So you might, if you're feeling very dense, you might need to take a spiritual bath. If you're feeling very like cooped up, maybe the energy in your house, you might need to do a cleansing. You might need to go on a walk. You might need to connect with the nature spirits. You might need to just connect with your ancestors. If you're feeling like very ungrounded, you might need to connect to the ancestors, or even like just focus on eating some root foods, like root chakra fruits. There's like this energy of making sure that as we're upgrading, especially with the Saturn square Uranus, as we're going through this very generational collective upgrade socially, that we are actively having a spiritual reaction, that we have spiritual medicine, that we know how to take care of ourselves and our spirit spiritually as we're going through these very intense and deep transformations. And again, solar eclipse in Sagittarius, use what you know. How do you know how to heal yourself? How do you go into self-care? How do you process these things? How do you navigate your own energy? How are you healing yourself? How are you creating a safe space for yourself? How are you setting yourself up for success during this time? So it's a very, very important for us to not dismiss that energy. We are also getting wishing and risk, okay? Wishing and risk. And again, Sagittarius is a very flighty sign, so don't be surprised if you end up feeling like just throwing up the white flag and just like, okay, I need to do this. Don't be surprised about that, because when it comes to Sagittarius energy, once Sagittarius has like that mental direction, they take risks, and you might get pulled into making a risk during this time. And again, watch that Mercury in conjunction with Pluto, because that Mercury in conjunction with Pluto is going to make it so we're actively transforming and putting, like, we're activating, putting in the work. Okay, we're putting in the work so we can then try to benefit from it later. And so there is this energy of using your mind, using your knowledge, but also feeling like, oh, this is like, and it just kind of wanting to leave. So just be mindful of that. Well, for our cards, we have the Hangman in reverse, Justice, the King of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, the Three of Swords, and the Two of Pentacles. That's our forecast for this specific eclipse. It's not gonna be easy, and this is what I mean about using your spirituality, using your spiritual practice to balance out the energies that don't necessarily feel so good, because there is going to be this moment where you're going to be feeling not so great. Okay, there's gonna be some moments, there's gonna be some breakdowns, there's gonna be some breakthroughs, and it's gonna require for you to have a spiritual reaction of how to rebalance your energies, how to bring yourself back into center. Okay, how do you bring yourself back into center? How do you do that? It's about, again, you want to balance out your energy. There's a reason why we got the Two of Pentacles and we have the Justice card. There's a reason. The Hangman being the first card that jumped out, being in reverse, it really speaks to us needing to use what we already learned. Hangman is in reverse. It is not hung up, which means that you're not in this place where you are still sulking on what it is that you need to know. You know what you need to know already. You have acquired that information, okay? You have acquired it. So what you do next is balance yourself out. What you do next is that you do the right thing for you, okay? To maintain and elevate your energy. This is that Venus in Capricorn energy, that conjunction, that Venus in Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn conjunction. You have to put in the work to balance yourself out. You have to. You can't just stay in this and expect greatness. That's not how it works. It's just not how it works. It's not realistic. So what you need to do is make sure you're paying attention to your emotions. Paying attention to the work that you need to do. Don't dismiss the knowledge that you have attained. Question yourself. Ask yourself, what have you learned? How much have you done? How have you gotten here? All of these things. Question yourself and move through the energy. Remove the swords from your heart. Heal yourself. Focus on healing yourself. The answer for the solar eclipse is absolutely healing yourself. Work on, again, ancient teachings. Work on the things that you know. Use the tools that you have at your disposal. Ask your ancestors for assistance. Ask your guides for guidance. You know what to do. You already know what to do. You know how to get through this time. Is it gonna not be that easy? Yeah, but it's an eclipse, so what can you expect? So when it comes to spell work, I don't recommend doing any type of manifestations, anything like that, because it's an eclipse. During this time, cleansings, healing work, protection work, okay, and recentering, regrounding, and some sacral work at best to remove any pent-up energies. That's what I would recommend for this eclipse particularly. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that you guys get to work. As always, I hope that you guys got the messages that you needed. Do not forget to use the coupon if you would like to work with me, or if you need a reading or anything like that. The coupon is Cyber Bruja, and today, so definitely make sure you take advantage. And yeah, I will see you loves in the next video. Thank you so much. Don't forget to sign up for the Patreon. We are having like so much fun over there. So, and I just did a giveaway, so I'm really excited to see who won. But thank you guys for all of the love and support and all the channel members and everything. We will be having our weekly community oracle poll this week, and we will be doing like the weekly prayer circle as well. I know it's been a little bit chaotic, but we're going to be doing it this week. Thank you guys for all the love, all the support. I love you guys so much. Have a beautiful day.